I'm super excited to introduce our third group today. We're going to hear from CityMeal next.
Hi, my name is Carrano. I was born and grew up in South Korea. I currently live in New York.
Hi, my name is Phoenix. I was born in New York, and that's where I'm currently living.
Hi, I'm Rosmary. I was born and raised in Queens, New York, and I'm still here.
Hi guys, my name is Yemisi. I was born and raised in Nigeria, and I currently live in Queens, New York City.
Now I'm going to introduce our project CityMeal. CityMeal offers information for COVID-free meal sites for New Yorkers. 1.5 million New Yorkers can't afford their food because of the pandemic. New York City provides free meals, and we wanted to make the information more accessible. Users can get the information on Google Maps and filter the locations by zip code. Users also can add specific locations to their favorite list. Now, Missy and Phoenix are going to talk about the technologies.
For the front end, we used React because of its easy state management features. And we also implemented Material UI because we're going for a mobile responsive and a mobile first app. Phoenix.
For the backend, we built it with Express. We just found that the easiest way to build a backend out. For our API, we use NYC Open Data to return the COVID-free meal sites that we're using to actually populate our maps. And to build out the database, we use Postgres SQL.
Yeah. Now we'd like to talk about a challenge we had and the solutions. Let me start first. I'm a product manager and a front-end developer. For me, displaying a user's favorite meal sites only when the user is authenticated was a challenge. I had to grab a unique ID for a specific user. And by using React hook, I was able to save the unique ID. Getting favorite location function gets executed after the user sign-in state is updated. Now, as you can see in the screenshots, user can see their favorite meal sites that they already saved. Now I'm passing over to Phoenix.
Hi, I was the Scrum Master, and I was also part of the backend team. One challenge I ran into was the API we use returned a very large amount of data, and we found that when it returned that large amount of data, it slowed down the application since it took a while for the application to fetch the data. A solution I came up with was, instead of making API calls to the API, we would just store the API data inside of our own personal backend or a custom database, make calls to that. And we found that making calls to our own database was a lot more efficient and a lot faster. The impact is, well, obviously faster fetching, and that ensured smoother transitions between different parts of the application.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry. And here is just an example of some of the code we're using to do that. You can see on line 22, we're making the API call to the City of New York API. And then in line 37, in line 30, we're mapping that data and then moving that into the database, which is how we're populating our application with the location data. And now I'll pass it off to Rosmary.
So for our project, I had the opportunity to work on the back end where I implemented the user and ratings functionality, authentication, pagination, and deployment. One of the challenges that I had was ensuring that tokens belong to unique users so that one user does not have access to another user's data with a verified token. To solve this problem, I created an authentication middleware to check if a token was provided, if it's a valid token, and if the token belongs to the user making the request. This provided seamless integration of authentication on all the routes and protection of user data. The first snippet of code is a route that is using authentication via the verified token middleware. In the verified token function, the token is verified on line 14. Once verified, the user ID is extracted from the token and compared with the user ID passed in through the path. On line 19, a comparison is made, returning an unauthorized error if the IDs don't match. I'll now pass it on to Missy.
Thank you, Rosemary. I worked as a front-end engineer in the team, and to protect the integrity. So we had a challenge to protect the integrity of a vision, which is really to make meals easily accessible to New Yorkers. We needed to create a way to visualize the data for users who are not ready to sign up for a personal experience. And I decided that I was going to implement a Google Map API, which was going to be built, implemented on the Google Maps React library. Our map would display and annotate our Fermin location sites while the map is centered on the current user's position, which we're getting back, and the users would additionally be able to filter on the homepage without necessarily signing up based on zip code as they're in the move using the app. The impact of this would be to create for our visitors who are not ready to sign up, to reduce the frustrations for them around getting good food to eat. Now pass it to Sara for the demo of our app. Oh my bad, I would not pass it to Sarah for the demo of our app. I would explain what I did. Thank you. On the right is the map that you're seeing. If you click on each icon, right, which are called markers, you would be able to see the name, the address, and the zip code of the location. And on the left is a piece of code. Essentially, I am making a request to essentially the goal of the code is to create a marker object, which are the red pins that you see on the map. And I'm doing that by, making a request to our location routes, which is returning data on the third line. And on the fourth lines going down, I am essentially taking those array of data and mapping them, returning them into another array of, I'm essentially taking those array of data and mapping them into a marker object, which includes parameters like the name, the zip code, the address, and the coordinates of the sites, which are going to be presented on the map once you click on them. Sarah.
Great. I'm going to be showing our app in a second. Okay, so I'm going to be showing our app CityMeal. With CityMeal, you can get the information for free meal sites. Let's say I am the user of CityMeal. So when I open the website, I see the message saying find free meal sites near you. And it seems like I am in the right place. And the second thing I can see is all the locations available on the Google Map. It is nice that I don't have to sign in to see all the locations, but there are too many locations displayed right now. So I'm going to filter the locations. I'm just going to simply type any zip code in New York City. So I'm going to go ahead and enter. And now you can see all the locations available within the zip code. So now I'm gonna click this pin, and now I can see the name of the site, address, and zip code. Now that I'm looking at this button, I'm just gonna go ahead and click it. And now I'm getting the notification saying, please sign in to save locations. It seems like this app wants me to sign in for more features. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. If you're the first visitor, you can sign up here, but I'm just gonna sign in with my current account to save time. So after I sign in, this app is bringing me back to the homepage. The loading is a little slow because I'm sharing my screen, but I'm gonna go to the list page, and in the list page, I can see the locations with Google Street View, which is really, really great. And so in this list page, what I can do is I can add this location to my favorite page. So I'm gonna click this button, and it's saying I added to the favorite list. So I'm gonna go to the favorite list and see if it is really added. So it was 101 Walton Street. So I'm gonna go to the favorite sites, and let's see. Yes, so there is 101 Walton Street. So it is added. Not only you can edit, you can also delete it. If you went to this place, if you didn't like it, you can always delete it from your favorite page. So let's see if it is deleted, and it's gone. Finally, you can go to account setting and change your username and zip code as well. So yes, if we had more time allowed, our team would have added a rating function or a commenting function so users can interact with each other. And yes, that's it for today. I hope CityMeal can contribute to a better quality of life for New Yorkers, and thank you.
Huge round of applause for the CityMeal group. Incredible job. Inspired by the ways that you all are thinking about how you can use your skills to solve real problems that people have. I think all of us agree that the world would be better if all of these apps existed in the world today.